Welcome to the Price of Business TV show. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. We're one of the longest running radio shows in Houston, Texas. Now one of the fastest growing TV shows across the country, thanks to our partnership over at the Biz TV Network. Jack Melton, he's a regular on this program, both on the radio and now frequently as well on the TV show. And we love the work he does. He's a leader in a very strong, particularly mid-market focused insurance company, helping to mitigate risk, which is one of the reasons why businesses thrive and organizations thrive, is because they have confidence thanks to that risk mitigation. Talk about your company, introduce us to it, and let's get to a topic that is near and dear to both of us.
Okay. Well, North American Solutions provides insurance and risk management services for mostly educational entities. We're part of a $8 billion group of private family companies that have more than 55 years experience serving more than 4,000 schools nationwide.
Yep. Talk a little bit about what's the website real quick?
NASrisk.com.
NASrisk.com. Make sure you check it out. One of these topics is so funny. We were talking before the segment began. That's near and dear to me is processes and systems, because that can replace labor and do things in a much more efficient way than even the best labor can end up doing. And for the third time, I'm reading the excellent book by Tim Ferriss called The 4-Hour Work Week. And if you're a purist on it, it will destroy your career. I will tell you that.
True,
because
true.
You got to have more than 4 hours. But I have literally chipped away 10-hour blocks of my time on a week basis from using the techniques of that book. Before I launched the TV show, as far as my focus on my primary business was probably around 20 hours a week before I launched the TV show. It's added significant hours, but I had the freedom to do that because of the systems I developed with the 4-hour work week process before.
Right.
Talk about systems in your company and how important they are.
Well, I think it starts with a mindset, and I actually have something on a whiteboard in front of my office just to remind myself, and it says that I have the same 24 hours in a day that everyone else has. What am I doing with mine? So it really hits home on how to think about it. So we spend a lot of time dissecting all of our service and sales processes and really see where you're wasting time, where you can be more efficient, because in our business, it's all about people. Well, I've said before, we don't sell a tangible product. We're selling service, integrity, and trust. And so anything we can do to maximize our time is going to make us more efficient, more profitable. Yeah,
no question about it. So what are some of those things? Well, when you think about it, so values is one thing. How do you make those values into reality?
We actually, this morning we were working on a process, and it's a simple thing like list management or contact management in your organization. We have a lot of individuals that are getting updated information, and we had archaic processes in place that where things were taking 6 steps. We narrowed that down to 2 this morning. And so it's really just making it a concerted effort to focus on processes as part of your culture.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time talking about that.
And obviously you got to be tooled in that. What are some of the tools that you are using to help implement that?
Well, we're actually in the process of implementing Microsoft Dynamics CRM platform, and that's having a common platform that's cloud-based is going to be very valuable to us. And we're able to get involved with a Microsoft consultant and actually designing it specifically for our uses. So that system, and that will be a big part of our infrastructure.
Is that a competitor to Salesforce, or is that a complement?
It is. We had been involved in Salesforce at one time, and it was good too. There were a few key things that wouldn't work in our world and that Microsoft was able to solve for us. And so, yeah, we're excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk a little bit, with about 30 minutes left, what are some of the values that you're trying to convey, and what kind of questions are you asking your team to help making sure they're making the most of their time?
It's just think about what you're doing. A lot of us get involved in just automation and doing the same routine over and over, but just stop and think about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how can you do it better, because it is all about maximizing their time, which leads to more focus, better results, and better culture.
Yep, Jack Melton, and I love what you guys are doing. NASrisk.com. It's the website, and the guy is an expert. He's phenomenal at what he does. We're glad to be able to pick his brain, and this is a very timely topic. If the listeners never watched, the viewers never watched or read rather the 4-Hour Work Week, I encourage you to do it. It's a great place to start. Try not to be a Puritan about it, or you'll probably destroy your career. But if you implement some of those principles, they are business and therefore life-changing. All right, thanks so much, Jack.
Thank you.
When we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you, show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com.